Israel-Iran War News Live Update. Netanyahu rejects the U.S. threat to withhold weapons if Israel attacks Rafah. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ignored U.S. President Joe Biden's threat to withhold arms from Israel if it attacked Rafah, a city in southern Gaza, and on Thursday, Israeli soldiers bombarded portions of Rafah, according to Palestinian residents. Following the conclusion of the most recent round of indirect talks in Cairo to end hostilities in Gaza, a senior Israeli official announced late Thursday that Israel would carry with its operation in Rafah and other areas of the Gaza Strip according to plan. Apparently, the Israeli side has voiced its concerns on Hamas's proposed captive release plan to the mediators. While making a video statement, Netanyahu threatened to use our fingernails as weapons if necessary. However, our possessions extend far beyond our fingernails. Palestinian terrorist organizations Islamic Jihad and Hamas claimed responsibility for the incident in Gaza, claiming that their members attacked Israeli tanks stationed on the city's eastern fringes with mortars and anti-tank rockets. Israel claims that Rafah is a hiding place for Hamas militants. After the bombardments destroyed most of the coastal enclave, hundreds of thousands of Gazans sought safety in Rafah, leading Israel to claim that Hamas fighters are hiding there. U.S. Officials have reiterated their desire that Israel refrain from launching a full operation in Rafah, stating their belief that such a move would not help Israel achieve its goal of conquering Hamas. American reservations about smashing into Rafah. Spokesperson John Kirby stated, "Smashing into Rafah, in President Biden's perspective, will not accomplish that purpose." According to Kirby, Israel had put a lot of pressure on Hamas, and instead of risking civilians in an operation, there were other ways to find the group's remaining leadership. U.S. President Joe Biden assured Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in an exclusive interview with CNN that the United States would not send specific weaponry or artillery if Israel invaded Rafah's population centers, but he did say that America will keep supporting Israel's defensive capabilities, including the Iron Dome. The Gaza Health Ministry reported that of the approximately 35,000 Palestinians killed and almost 80,000 wounded, the majority of them were civilians, as a result of Israel's attack on Gaza. When Hamas militants attacked Israel across the border on October 7, killing 1,200 and taking 252 hostage, Israeli officials responded by launching their offensive. Latest Israeli estimates put the number of captives being held in Gaza at 128, with 36 confirmed fatalities. Israeli officials have failed to present a compelling strategy to protect Rafah residents, according to Biden, who has offered his strongest caution against a full-scale ground attack. "If they enter Rafah, I said it clearly. The weapons won't come from me," Biden said in an interview with CNN on Wednesday. According to Israel's U.S. ambassador, the choice to deny Israel weaponry due of Rafah sends the wrong message to Hamas and other enemies of Israel. During a webinar hosted by the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, Ambassador Michael Herzog expressed his frustration with the situation, saying that it forces them to choose between Rafah and other issues. The Israeli military has all the necessary ammunition for its upcoming operations, including those in Rafah, according to Chief Spokesman Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari. According to Hagari, Israeli soldiers have eliminated 50 Palestinian gunmen in East Rafah and discovered multiple tunnels. Hamas did not immediately respond. Launch of the floating pier. On Thursday, officials in Cyprus announced that a ship delivering supplies to a floating U.S. dock off the coast of Gaza had sailed away. On Thursday morning, the U.S.-flagged Sagamore sailed out from the Cyprus port of Larnaca. The United States government has said that the ship will load supplies onto a floating pier in order to speedily provide relief to the besieged enclave. Just how long the trip would take was unclear at first. Border barriers and Israel's military offensive have significantly hindered humanitarian deliveries via land to Gaza. Thus in March, Cyprus opened a sea route to carry aid directly to the territory. In his State of the Union address a little over 2 months ago, Biden revealed that the United States military would be constructing a floating pier to aid in the delivery of humanitarian supplies. Stop negotiating. Since Tuesday, delegates from Qatar, Egypt, Israel, the United States, and Hamas have been meeting in Cairo. According to two Egyptian security sources, the discussions in Egypt's capital made progress but did not reach a deal. A member of the Hamas political office in Qatar named Izzat El-Rishek confirmed that the group's delegation had departed Cairo after reiterating their support for the mediator's proposal to end the conflict. Part of the deal is freeing Israeli hostages in Gaza as well as some Palestinians detained by Israel. In a Telegram message, the Al-Aqsa TV account stated that Hamas would not compromise on anything beyond the terms of the agreement it had previously accepted, and the group pointed the finger upon Israel for the impasse. Despite calls for a ceasefire, Israel has stated its willingness to consider a truce. The United States is still in talks with Israel about potential ceasefire amendments, according to U.S. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller, who also noted that finalizing the agreement's language was very tough. Israeli tanks occupied the Gaza side of the Rafah border crossing with Egypt on Tuesday, obstructing a crucial assistance route and compelling 80,000 people to evacuate the city this week, as reported by the UN. Healthcare system facing challenges. Tank and aircraft attacks continued across Gaza as Israel marched into the Zaytown district of Gaza City, causing hundreds of families to evacuate, according to residents. Israeli forces claim to have begun seizing Zaytown by launching a string of airstrikes against some 25 militant targets based on intelligence. People who had escaped Rafah in the past few days flooded into central Gaza's Deir al-Balah. According to Palestinian doctors, a drone missile struck a crowd, killing 2 people, one of them was a lady. On Thursday, the Gaza Health Ministry announced that the blockade of the Rafah crossing with Egypt has impeded the evacuation of sick and wounded people and the entry of medical supplies, food trucks, and fuel required to run hospitals. Due to the shelling, the only kidney dialysis center in the Rafah area had to shut down. A surgeon from Jordan named Ali Abu Kurma commented, "The entire medical sector has crumbled while helping at Deir al-Balah's Al-Aqsa hospital. No one or nothing has been let to enter or leave Gaza for 3 days in a row," according to UN Assistance Head Martin Griffiths. "You won't get any help from it. Everything we have is jammed. Our groups have hit a wall. There is a block on our ability to aid the civilian population in Gaza, which is leading to starvation and deaths. Even after 7 months of suffering, this is Gaza today," Griffiths wrote on X.